That we are getting a big breaking news. The European Union, under the leadership of Kaja Kallas, have taken a major decision, a big decision, and it has designated the Iran's IRGC as a terrorist organization. Big development there and big setback for Iran, because the European Union, under the leadership of Foreign Policy Chief, that is Kaja Kallas, has taken a landmark step by designating Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, that is IRGC, as a terrorist organization. Now, this decision was announced following a meeting of the EU and the foreign ministers on January 29, 2026. Now, this response to the regime's brutal repression and the crackdown on anti-government protests, which has resulted in thousands and thousands of deaths. Now, the move places the IRGC on the same platform, on the same terrorism list, which includes groups like ISIS, al-Qaeda, Hamas, Hezbollah, imposing asset freezes, funding bans, and also travel restrictions on its members. Now, Kallas emphasized that repression cannot go unanswered and that any regime killing thousands of its own people is hastening its own downfall, marking a symbolic and significant shift in the EU's stance towards Tehran amid ongoing human rights concerns and regional tensions. So this is one of the biggest setbacks that Iran has faced, because its IRGC has now been designated as a terrorist organization. On one side, you have Donald Trump with his ships heading towards Iran, and on the other side you have the designation of IRGC as a terrorist organization, placing it as on the same terrorism list, the same terror list of that of Hamas, of al-Qaeda, Hamas, and all the likes. Their assets will be freezed and there will be travel restrictions for IRGC. All right, viewers, now let's move on to our next top story. Now, after a major aviation crisis triggered by alleged Indigo mismanagement over a month ago, flight duty time limitation, or the FDTL norms, are back in the spotlight. Now, with India's airline duopoly firmly in focus, carriers are now pushing for a relaxation of these rules. They are citing operational pressures. Now, the move, however, has drawn scrutiny, and the Delhi High Court now steps in. Here's a quick report on all the latest developments on the FDTL row.
As the airline safety versus airline convenience debate continues, in the backdrop of several Indian airlines, including Indigo, Air India and SpiceJet, having met government officials about a week ago seeking relaxation in flight duty time limitation norms. And while the hearing on the case is under with the Delhi High Court, the counsel appearing for DGCA was repeatedly shifting her stance and was unable to give any clear response on the issue. She in fact sought to defer the matter and prayed for